quarter-final upsets. Sunderland beating the holders, mighty Leeds. What a day out for Bob Stokoe's Red and White Army. A day Bobby Kerr won't ever forget. Sealed with a kiss, Porterfield celebrations. Now, though, Ian Porterfield is in the other camp, hoping to steer Chelsea into this year's semi-finals. Sunderland stand in his way. No problem. Porterfield is a true blue now. Our live football on Sky Sports tonight is the FA Cup quarter-final between Chelsea and Sunderland, exclusively live from Stamford Bridge. And just as they had at Wembley all those years ago, Sunderland will again have plenty of noisy support. 7,000 have made the journey to London. Difficult trip on a Monday night as well. Doesn't matter, they're in good spirits, full of confidence, and it's Crosby's Red and White Army now, of course. The bookies, though, don't fancy their team. Chelsea are the firm favourites at 8-11, Sunderland are 4-1, it's 2-1 the draw. The outstanding quarter-final tie in every sense of the word, the last of the four, arguably the best. Stamford Bridge is buzzing. We're here till 10 o'clock, then it's more World Cup cricket. India against the West Indies live, and if the West Indies lose tonight, they could go out of the competition. Our guests here, Vincent Jones and Ron Atkinson. Welcome, gentlemen, both. You've just come from the dressing room, Vinny. What's it like in there?
Pretty tense, as you know, sort of thing that's going to be a big part of this game. Whoever gets going first, I think, is going to get a hold of the game. And, you know, the lads know what to do, and the fans get behind us. I'm sure it can be sorted out.
We better explain you're suspended, no other problems. Ron, have you got over have you got over yesterday?
Not really. I was just on in Porterfield before the game, and I said, if he'd wanted any motivation, he should have brought his lads down to our training ground today and set them in the dressing room with our boys. I mean, they said, you know, it's like going out in the semi-final. Yeah, we're disappointed.
You've got my throat as well, haven't you? Is that as a result of yesterday, or have we been spending too much time together?
No, I think it was probably the last 10 minutes when we're trying to urge our team, trying to blow the ball in, if you like. We'll soon get over that.
Yeah. Two key players tonight. Clive Allen, the ultimate poacher in many ways, Vinny, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's proved that. He's come here and he's got us out of a few spots. You know, this
goal against Everton.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about it is they're not just one-offs. I mean, in training, he's the first one picked because, you know, that sort of thing. And he's doing it for us in the league, and he's done it for us in the cup.
When he came, we had Tommy Docherty with us at Sky pre-Christmas. He said he'll get 20, 25 goals before the end of the season. I think he's right, isn't he?
Well, he'll certainly get a few. You know, the good thing about it is he's been around a long time. People say his legs are gone and say he's getting too old for the game, and he's just showing people like him and Gordon Strachan there's not a time limit in football.
John Burnron scored in every round, a couple against West Ham in the last round. This is the second of the two. He knows where the goal is as well.
Yeah, I also think he's the sort of player, he's been around a little bit. And he's got great close skill. And I mean, he's took that away very tight. I've got a feeling this lad, over the next 2 or 3 years, is going to have the best years of his career. He's always had great talent, but never really put it together as often as he should have done. Now I think maybe he's a little bit of experience in France. Coming back here, I mean, I actually tried to take him a couple of years ago for Sheffield when he was with Le Havre. And I think those sort of things and his maturity, and I think you're going to see a very, very good centre-forward over the next 2 years in John Byrne.
Chelsea firm favourites for the bookies. Do you see it like that?
Oh, you'd have to put them favourites because of the pedigree, the home advantage. 4-1's a good bet. 4-1's a good bet for Sunderland, I would think. Sunderland have, you know, they've proved at West Ham that they're not frightened of coming away to places, you know, and they've got nothing to lose. I would have to say I do fancy Chelsea. I hope Chelsea do win it because we get the semi-final at Villa Park if they win it, but that's a vested interest. But
the FA Cup's the bookie's nightmare.
It is at the moment. Can Chelsea do it without Vinny, who's with us tonight? And as those supporters noticed earlier, in a suit as well. It's a great night on Sky Sports, a great night at the Bridge. FA Cup football, live. Don't go away. Bridge, our live football comes from the Bridge tonight. It's Chelsea against Sunderland, FA Cup quarter-final tie. Don't forget our Carlsberg Man of the Match competition, incidentally. The big prize, a family day out at Wembley later in the season. First, as usual, watch our match tonight, and at the end, we're going to ask you to phone in with your vote for our Carlsberg Man of the Match. If you vote for the winner, you could win a Carlsberg sports bag full of various goodies, sweatshirt, t-shirt, towels, and you go into our end-of-season draw for those Wembley tickets. The telephone number, 0898 500 125, 0898 500 125. The result in Sky Soccer Weekend with Matt this coming Friday. Now, whatever he's saying, this will be an emotionally difficult night for Ian Porterfield, the scorer of that goal in '73. He's also managed Sunderland, of course. So too did this man, who's also on the staff at Chelsea these days. Bob Stokoe, who engineered that '73 win over Leeds. They still talk about it on Wearside. These days, Bob is doing some scouting for Chelsea. He's also gone on record as stating that he, too, is a true blue now. But there are divided loyalties.
I've tried very hard to say that my loyalty lies with Ian because I'm involved with Chelsea Football Club, and I very much want them to win the game. But if things go bad, then I couldn't wish for a better team to progress.
And going back to '73, what are the memories that you still particularly treasure?
Well, I suppose the run on the pitch was something they'll never let me forget. When we got back to Sunderland tonight with a couple of 10 miles run in where thousands of people were involved, the Mickey Freeman of the borough because of winning the cup, and all the things that went with it. It's a memory that nobody from that particular period can forget.
We'll never forget the hat, Bob, either. Imagine it's a new one. Ron, a lot of support down from Sunderland. I think they've found some security paper there, have they, which is red and white?
They've done very well, actually. You can see that that's coming around the country. And on Monday night, you know, it's probably on a Saturday there'd been another 3,000. But they are a tremendous bunch of supporters, they really are.
I don't mean to rub it in, Vinny, but there's a fabulous atmosphere out there. You must be wishing that you were playing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, training and playing is all part of it. But when you get this sort of support watching you, and we're sitting in this little box, I mean, I'm shaking like a leaf here. I don't know whether it's because I'm talking to you or because it's the game, but mixed feelings, obviously. I'm just hoping the boys are going to come out and take the game by the scruff of the neck, because, you know, Sunderland, it's their cup final in a lot of ways.
Might not be, Vinny.
No,
Might
it's the first, obviously, playing against the first division side, I think gives you another half a yard of pace.
OK, Ron, briefly, which way's it going?
Got to fancy Chelsea, but I think Sunderland will give a good account of themselves.
OK, let's go and join our commentary team, Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, Richard. Hello again, everyone. The 3 six-round ties so far have been typically tense. Just 2 goals which have sent Liverpool and Portsmouth to the semi-finals. Sunderland aren't the sort of side to sit back. Chelsea, who've had problems shutting out their opponents in the league, yet to concede a goal in the FA Cup. Chelsea haven't played for 9 days since a shabby showing here against Sheffield Wednesday. But with that fresh in his mind, Ian Porterfield has made 3 team changes. 2 of them are in midfield. Kevin Wilson's seniority has won him the vote over Scottish under-21 international Craig Burley as the deputy for Vinnie Jones. And Graham Lassau's recent lapse in form has cost him his place to Graham Stewart, whose solo goal against Sheffield United brought Chelsea into the 6th round. And Chelsea also feel it's time to recall Kerry Dixon, who has been fit for a fortnight but has been kept out by Tony Cascarino.
Yes, and Ian Porterfield will send out basically a 4-4-2 formation with, I think, a big onus on Kerry Dixon and Clive Allen to provide the firepower to take Chelsea through.
Sunderland's side bears in just one detail from that which won at West Ham. Gary Bennett, who went all the way to Wembley with them in the League Cup 7 years ago, beating Chelsea in the semi-final. He's available again after injury. A timely recovery too, with Kevin Ball suspended. There's undoubted quality in the side. 5 internationals, past and present. Paul Bracewell and Peter Davenport with England. Tony Norman of Wales. Northern Ireland's Anton Rogan. And John Byrne, who represents the Republic of Ireland.
Yes, and Malcolm Crosby also will send out a 4-4-2 formation. As you say, very experienced side. Looking forward to see how Paul Bracewell plays, but obviously John Byrne, the man to watch.
Terry Holbrook has had some eventful times taking charge of Chelsea games. He sent off Graham Lasso here last April against Luton, and as recently as December he produced a red card for Kevin Hitchcock at Sheffield Wednesday. Ian Porterfield has tried to concentrate on the present. Very difficult for him with so many reminders of the past. And Sunderland fans will be absolutely delighted that Tony Cascarino doesn't start this game. He scored 7 goals in 3 matches against Sunderland, 5 of them for Gillingham in the playoffs in 1987 that sent Sunderland down to the 3rd division for the first time in their history, and a couple for Aston Villa. That was last March at a time when he was struggling to get goals in the 1st division, but Sunderland were rather suckers for him again. But he's a substitute. Sunderland to kick off. They've certainly responded to their caretaker manager under Malcolm Crosby. Just 2 defeats in 12 games. What will match number 13 bring on the day when there's speculation that Dennis Smith, the former Sunderland manager, wants Malcolm Crosby as his assistant? Dennis today named as manager of Bristol City.
Just thinking, Martin, if the last cup time we were here at the Sheffield United in the last round is anything to go by, then you can bet your bottom dollar that Chelsea will come out with all guns firing early on.
Paul, their progress has been solid past Holloway in the 3rd round. That was 2-0, 1-0 against Everton here, 1-0 against Sheffield United, and so nearly 1-0 at the start against Sunderland. Dennis Wise helped it on, and Clive Allen was trying to just trundle it over the line, but he couldn't catch up with the path of the ball.
Well, it's a ploy they always use, isn't it? Usually Vinnie Jones is our guest tonight, the one who throws that long throw in, and it almost pays dividends right away. But that's where Clive Allen's at his very, very best. In that penalty box, a true predator.
Elliott taking command in the air, very much his style. Not forward by Kevin Wilson as he was fouled by Paul Hardiman. Free kick to Chelsea. Well, as you can see, the pitch is by no means perfect, but it's a fact of life for Chelsea, and Sunderland are simply pleased to be here. The ball going beyond David Rush. Dennis Wise returning it well, and appearing to Sunderland's surprise was Elliott.
Well, it's exactly the start Chelsea would have wished for, putting them under tremendous pressure. Anton Rogan's the one who's caught out there, and Paul Elliott trying the spectacular, but I thought the big man might have just wanted to put his head on that one.
But it was a cross from Dennis Wise, whose trade really is supplying chances from wide positions. And of course, here's an FA Cup winner with Wimbledon, and that team had also included Vinnie Jones, who has his own souvenir. We might see it at half-time, the FA Cup tattooed on one of his legs. Hall with the throw. It's flicked on by Dixon towards Stewart. Paul Bracewell, who is the Sunderland captain.
I tell you what, Martin,
finding Chelsea with a fast start here hard to handle.
I don't know if it's nerves or whatever before the game, but I'm looking around at the Sunderland team, and if I'm not mistaken, Bennett and Rogan are both wearing number 4 shirts.
I think you're right. And they're both there in the centre. Well, the referee might want to do something about that. Gary Bennett on Kerry Dixon, wearing number 4. And Anton Rogan has got a 4 on his back as well.
It's quite amazing. Maybe they both like that number.
Well, according to the official list, Rogan should be 3. Elliott. Here's John Kay. Sunderland regard as their most improved player this season. Peter Davenport. Byrne, everything he's touched has turned to goals since his move from Brighton. You can see the 2 number 4s in your picture there. Hasn't been drawn yet to the referee's attention.
Not so sure what happened there, Mark. Did they make him go off and change his shirt, did he?
Well, I think that's what should occur, but in the cup tie atmosphere here, the referee and the linesman both concentrating on regulating the play properly. Might be something that our man down on the touchline, Nick Collins, could point out to the Sunderland bench.
I don't think the Sunderland bench will thank him too much if he points it to their attention, and they have to lose a man for a few minutes early on in a cup tie to change his shirt.
Meanwhile, Terry Holbrook has his hands full here with Paul Elliott.
Certainly think it started the way I certainly expected it to, with Chelsea really going at Sunderland, trying to not to let them settle. Always a good policy when you entertain a lower division side at home in a big cup tie, to go at them and not let them settle. And that's what Chelsea are trying to do at this minute.
Rogan's header, put back by Hall. Stewart pressing Hardiman, the former Portsmouth player. Will be wondering whether possibly he might meet his old club. Well, it would have to be in the final itself now. Dixon! Well, the linesman certainly didn't have his flag up for offside. It was Kevin Wilson who knocked the ball in, and Kerry Dixon seemed only to have to make contact then. Steve Smelt, the Sunderland physio, waiting to do the necessary with the shirts. And as that happens, maybe we can have a look again at how close Kerry Dixon came. Andy?
Yes, he's taken a goal kick, it looks like, Martin, but I do believe that the referee has given a free kick for pushing. I certainly didn't see any of it. As it's come in, Sunderland have tried to catch him offside. And Kerry Dixon, for him, has missed a glorious, glorious chance. But I'm sure that the referee did blow up for some sort of infringement in there.
Well, there was no involvement with the linesman, so one can assume that it wasn't offside. 7 minutes gone. Chelsea have started well. Sunderland looking shaky. Their defending has been the weak point of their season. They know that to really do the job here, they've got to play to their attacking strengths. And of course, they were given a helping hand at Upton Park in the 5th round replay by some lax West Ham play when John Byrne really cashed in. Andy Myers with the cross. Here's Jason Cundy. Dixon flicking it on, and Hardiman turning well away from Stewart, rather. Davenport up front with Byrne for Sunderland. Here's Armstrong. But Hardiman is penalised. Chelsea haven't been to the semi-final since 1970. It's the only year they won the trophy, when the Kings Road image was at its sharpest. Life a bit more down to earth at the moment as Ken Bates and his backers reach a crucial stage in their fight to keep the club at Stamford Bridge. Stewart. Bracewell trying to help out Hardiman. Hall. Chelsea claiming a handball, but Hardiman allowed to clear. Knocked back by Wilson. Sunderland a bit slow to come out. They're defending very deeply. Here's Wise. Kay. Good movement ahead of him, and Kay supplying movement of his own. Kandi preventing the pass, reaching Rush.
Yes, they're defending very deep, man, but what they're doing very well, they're getting plenty of people back behind the ball. Not so much out of wanting to do it, but really being pressed back. But if you've got to defend, then defend in numbers and make it difficult for the team to break you down. That's what's happening with Sunderland at the moment. But what they have shown, though, is when they get a chance to break, they're breaking very quickly and very positively.
Minutes gone. Chelsea making the running. Paul Elliott, who's had a couple of bad injuries earlier in his career, and there's a bad slip. They're allowed Byrne in with a chance here. He's got a second chance, and again Hitchcock has saved the day. There are two on the line behind him as David Rush drives it back, and it was nearly a repeat of what happened at West Ham. Chelsea totally losing their concentration, but John Byrne, who has scored in every FA Cup game for Sunderland this season, couldn't capitalise on his latest chance.
Oh, it was quite an amazing series of events, wasn't it? You felt sure they had to score.
Byrne again. The ball had gone behind.
I'm sure if Sunderland had wanted a chance to fall to anyone early on in the match, it would have been Byrne. As they break here, Jason Cundy does marvellously well to get a tackle in and break it up. But as it breaks here to John Byrne, you think he must score. Kevin Hitchcock does well, twice in fact, and they just get enough bodies back on the line to just retrieve the situation.
Well, it was Andy Townsend on the line who'd made the mistake in the first place.
Now that's a little warning to Chelsea.
Here's Rogan, who was really signed to play at left back. He has spent most of his time with Sunderland in the centre of defence, and as a former Celtic man was particularly interested in the draw for the semi-final of the Tennant Scottish Cup. Cundy's header, knocked back by Bennett. Then Elliott, Dixon getting to it. Townsend going in with foot raised against Atkinson. Here's Rush. Atkinson. Sunderland showing signs of settling now. I know we've got a lot of viewers on Sky Sports up in the Wearside area. A special good evening to them. They must be kicking every ball with their favourites.
It's very difficult early on in a cup tie of this importance for people to put their foot on the ball and stick it around. It does take some brave players if you want to do that, and at the moment players haven't been given the time.
Well, Andy, you've seen it in a very involved way over the past 24 hours or so. What does it take to win and to lose a cup quarter-final?
It takes a bit of luck, I know that, Martin, but you've got to, first and foremost, you've got to battle it out and never ever accept that the game is beyond you. I think we've seen already that both teams are prepared to do that. What you need is a little bit of luck. You need decisions to go your way, and you need to stand up and be counted. At the moment, all players are certainly standing up and being counted. They look as if all 22 players are fired up and ready for it.
Well, certainly the Chelsea goalkeeper, Kevin Hitchcock, stood up then in a very important moment in the match so far. He's had a a starring role in the cup run. Bracewell, just happy to get it forward. There wasn't too much control on the pass. Paul Bracewell, who has played in 3 FA Cup finals with Everton, has been a loser every time.
Yeah, he was asking me before the game, he said, Andy, mind you give me a good mention, and I had to tell him, Paul, you're only getting a good mention if you play well. I can't lie.
Dixon has done very well in the air already. Certainly Ian Porterfield had a couple of areas of his team in which to make some important decisions. Dixon preferred to Cascarino was one. Who would wear the number 4 shirt was another. And obviously the number 4 was important to Sunderland as well, because they sent 2 out wearing that. It's a corner to Sunderland. Atkinson is going across to take it. Gary Bennett coming forward. Rogan is a danger as well. Here he is, with a brand new haircut. It's cost him in London this morning rather more than he expected to pay.
Don't see why.
Allen working hard. Stewart sending it long, but of course Allen's not there. And it's Wise making up the ground, and well, Kay was nearly caught out.
You're asking what wins you cup ties and things like that can win you a Martin. Dennis Wise not giving up in what was basically a lost cause and almost getting the benefits from it.
Put out by Bennett. Andy Myers, who's only 18 and has taken the opportunity of winning the place at left back with the departure of Tommy Boyd back to Scotland. Myers with the header. Offside against Byrne.
But that's a threat all the time, Martin. And Sunderland, you're right, have settled. They've achieved what you must set out to do in a cup tie away from home early on. And that should just weather what they must have thought would have been a Chelsea onslaught early on. That's what's happened. They've weathered that, and now starting to be a little bit of a threat in themselves. And certainly John Byrne, who's always looking to get behind the back 4, will always be a threat.
Sunderland 14th in the 2nd division and wondering which way their season might go in the league. They obviously would hope to go onwards and upwards, but Malcolm Crosby making the point this morning that they could be sucked into the relegation area, and the players are getting rather accustomed to the glamour and the big games, and it's just led to a little bit of a shortfall at places like Southend in the 2nd division. It's one of their 2 defeats in 12 under Malcolm Crosby. Good play between Byrne and Armstrong, although in the end Gordon Armstrong rather passed without looking. But Sunderland have it back with Kay. And Wilson's clearance has rather more height than length. Allen trying to make something of it. Byrne, who is very comfortable with the ball at his feet, and he's passed Wise. Brilliant play from John Byrne, and it could have produced an own goal. It has led to a corner.
Oh, this is fabulous play. You honestly don't think he's got anywhere to go. Tricks Dennis Wise, round he goes, gets through, and really what he wants is someone attacking the near post, and Sunderland have got a goal for sure.
Burn waiting by the near post now. The ball doesn't reach him. Hardiman, who'd taken the corner, and then he hooks his second attempt too close to Hitchcock. There was an offside in any case. Kevin Hitchcock, who saved a penalty in the 4th round from Tony Cottee to end the Everton challenge. It was a penalty he'd conceded himself, so he felt he had to make amends. Chelsea 9th in Division 1. But they found Stamford Bridge always to their liking in the league. At this stage of the FA Cup, you're very pleased to start out in the 6th round on home soil. And it is soil rather more than grass in certain areas.
Yeah, we've mentioned the pitch, and it's not perfect, but what's good about it, if anything, is the fact that it's not hard and dry. There is a little bit of moisture on it, it's a little bit soft, and that always helps when it's as bad as it is.
Byrne taking Elliott with him. I was going to say a little earlier, before that slip by Andy Townsend brought me back to the game, that Paul Elliott has a great attitude because of injuries in the past. And he really plays every game as though it is his last. He's appreciative of his recovery from injury. It's the type of approach that managers always appreciate. You can be sure of what you're going to get from Elliott. Sunderland have another corner. The cue for Bennett to make his way toward the near post again. It was Myers who met it forcefully for Chelsea. This is Bracewell. And Byrne keeping it in, but not connecting quite cleanly enough, although Bennett was alive as he darted in towards the near post.
Again, this is John Byrne chasing what most Chelsea defenders think's a lost cause, and again they almost benefit for it. Great example to any kids that are watching that nothing should never give anything up too early in those situations.
If there were any doubts in Chelsea minds, it stems back to the semi-final of the League Cup last season when Ron Atkinson brought Sheffield Wednesday of the 2nd Division here. And Chelsea very much favourites to go through, and they finished a very poor second in both games. There's always been an inconsistency, really, about this club. They've had some wonderful times. Sunderland giving an impression here of having come through an awkward start to the game. And they're beginning to feel part of the evening now.
Growing in confidence, that's the main thing for me. They're starting to look and get the ball, come and look for it. Peter Davenport, one of the best in the business actually, coming into those areas and getting it. It really doesn't do as well as he should have done then.
Chelsea have switched Wise and Stewart at the moment. And Byrne has the ball at his feet again. And that could mean problems for Chelsea. Davenport busy in the centre. That's really the only option for Byrne. It allowed Chelsea to get back.
I think what people might not understand about games like this is really the pressure, I feel, is all on Chelsea. The expectations all on Chelsea to go and get the result, and that Sunderland have got to do an awful lot. And if you can send a team out into that environment, they can at times play with the freedom that they might normally have. And the team with that, under all the pressure, might just tighten. They might just freeze a little. And I think you've got to be very, very good players and brave players. Chelsea have anyway to go out and perform in an environment like this.
Here's Hardy for Sunderland. Sunderland's throw. which Armstrong will leave. These Sunderland players trying to not wipe out the memories of the past, but to prove that they're worthy of going into the record books as well. Malcolm Crosby has been trying in a way to get away from 1973 and the side then, but on Saturday he went to see Rotherham play, and who should he sit next to but Dave Watson? Who of course was the centre-half of Sunderland in that historic cup run of 1973. Dick Malone, another member of the side, has been spotted by Malcolm Crosby at a recent Sunderland game as well. So they're all around. And we've heard today that Vic Hallam, who played up front, is going to stand for Parliament in the election. I don't think I better go into any more detail, otherwise I'll have to mention all the other candidates. And of course, Chelsea are a team favoured by the present government. David Mellor is here, and I'm sure the Prime Minister wants to know what's going on. Here's Byrne. It's worth a shot, but not the best that John Burns ever delivered. It was released under pressure.
No, but it was a good build-up. Nice little move involving Peter Davenport along the edge of the box. So what Peter Davenport and John Byrne are very good at, Martin, is getting the ball into their feet, bringing other people into play, or turning themselves and going at teams. And at the moment, certainly Sunderland look the better of the two teams. What I would be worried about if I was Ian Porterfield is that probably one of his most important players, Andy Townsend, what he's famous for, what he does very, very well, those brilliant forward runs. I've seen very, very little of that so far in the game.
A free kick given against Dixon. The header from Bennett. Hall. Allen. It's a good turn, got the better of Hardiman. Will it come for Wise? Not quite. But it was Bracewell back in the key place for Sunderland. Yes, you do wonder whether Andy Townsend might be feeling an injury or is just feeling a little off colour. I know he does suffer from migraine, but
I just wonder if it's something else, Martin, the fact that with Vinnie Jones in the side, who does tend to hold and allowed Andy Townsend to go forward, they've brought in Kevin Wilson, who's very much an attack-minded player and likes to get forward himself. I just wonder if Andy Townsend has been very much more responsible.
Well, it's Townsend's ball there.
He's definitely the one that's sitting and allowing Kevin Wilson to get forward.
Cundy. Many of our viewers might be surprised to find that Andy Townsend has got Kevin Wilson as a midfield partner. Wilson, of course, has played there in the past, but is more recognised as a striker. Came on and did a good job as a substitute here against Sheffield United in the last round. Armstrong heading it down. That's a Sunderland ploy, similar to the way that Leeds United used Gary Speed on the left-hand side. Handball by Bennett to stop Clive Allen getting away. And well, on another day, another referee might have taken a sterner view of that, given the current interpretation of handball. Terry Holbrook is renowned for his common-sense approach. Chelsea have sent Elliott forward. Allen's up here. Wilson is there. And Sunderland through Atkinson get the ball away. 28 minutes gone.
Did well there, Brian Atkinson, Martin. Under a lot of pressure, facing his own goal about the penalty spot. Very composed in clearing it.
Throw from Myers, helped on by Elliott. Sunderland straining a little bit here. Bracewell miskicking. The brave header from Townsend. And as Andy Townsend went for the ball, Terry Holbrook went for the whistle. And Chelsea have a free kick Dennis Wise is very much in charge at the set plays. Townsend's just moved away to Wise's right, the far side as we look. He's having a look at the angles on his left foot, but Wise hits it into the wall. Townsend's header.
Yeah, Dennis Wise won't be happy. That's the worst thing you can do, I think, when you get a free kick at the edge of the box. And the worst thing you want to do is at least make the goalkeeper make a save. You don't want to be hitting the wall in situations like that.
Off goes Bird. He's got Cundy for company and Myers as well.
He's looked a real threat tonight, Martin, John Byrne. He looks as if he's really been looking forward to the game and relishing the big atmosphere here at Stamford Bridge.
Dixon. Sorry to cut across you, Andy, then, but the Dixon-Allen combination looked about to surface. Reunited today.
Yeah, if I was Kenny Dixon, I know he wins this ball off of Bennett there, but I think he's got an awful lot of joy when he's played up the inside right channel against smaller Anton Rogan. And if I was Kenny Dixon, I'd be saying to Clive Allen, you let me pull on Anton Rogan and you play off of Bennett, and let's just see how we can get some joy from that.
15 minutes to go to half-time. Chelsea 0, Sunderland 0. The winners, let me remind you, by either Southampton or Norwich City.
That little
semi-final, either Hillsborough or Highbury. Here's Bracewell. Paul Bracewell, well, it's brilliant that he's playing again after missing 2 complete seasons in his Everton days with ankle trouble. Had half a dozen operations, had to go to the United States to get patched up in the end.
And he's just become a father 3 weeks ago. So I told him I'd give him his little boy a mention.
That's why he's got the bags under the eyes, is it? Peter Davenport also become a dad since the turn of the year for the first time. Congratulations to them both and their wives. We always forget to mention the wives.
Yes, I think we all in football know that wives have to be very patient and understanding people, don't they?
Well, his life will change for the better. I can vouch for that, and I'm sure you can too, Andy.
Most certainly.
Again was up well, so too was Elliott for Chelsea. Little header down from Wilson, Bracewell intercepting. Ian Porterfield spent almost 10 years with Sunderland as a player, 67 to 77. Remembered, of course, for the cup-winning goal, but he had his bleak times there as well when he fractured his skull in a car crash. Here's Davenport. He's a very thoughtful footballer. Well, Peter Davenport won't be feeling shy on such a big occasion. His days with Nottingham Forest, Manchester United. Falling beyond the two who are waiting for Sunderland for the flick on.
Yeah, well,
the preparation for a match of this magnitude so important. Chelsea broke from their usual routine by bringing the players into the ground in the middle of the afternoon for a loosener, at around 3:30. They haven't been very happy with their home performances in evening games, and they might be unhappy here. It's Byrne lining it up. Sunderland travelled down yesterday. One of their problems has been timing the arrival from the hotel to the ground in London. At West Ham, they arrived 2 hours before the kick-off, and the players were playing I Spy in the dressing room to try and pass the time. And they were here, again worried about the rush hour in the capital. They were here an hour and 3/4 before the start.
Well, if they get the same result as they got at Upton Park, Mark, you won't have Malcolm Crosby complaining, or his players, about early arrivals. Actually happened to Aston Villa at Tottenham when we went there for the replay. We got there very, very early. But Ron Atkinson made us have a sing-song in the dressing room rather than have a game of I Spy.
Sunderland being forced back by the raw enthusiasm of Chelsea in that attack. They've left 3 back to cover, although Elliott's having problems. Peter Davenport was making up the ground on him.
But good refereeing from Terry Holbrook at the other end, Martin, when 3 or 4 players are in a mix there. Many of it.
It's Dixon, after Rogan has been a bit overconfident in his own penalty area. And the outcome is a corner.
Again, it's a long kick that causes all the problems. Anton Rogan misjudges it and Dixon's on it in a flash. This just gets deflected wide. But did you see who was in the 6-yard box? Clive Allen looking for any little drops.
Wise with the corner. Elliott trying to attack it. Townsend in there, Dixon in there. Blocked on the line, Allen has scored! 36 minutes gone. The celebrations come from Chelsea.
Well, it's no surprise, is it, when the ball drops in the 6-yard box, who's there? Paul Elliott does very well to keep it in play. So does Andy Townsend. Drops to Stewart, great block on the line. But that man, Clive Allen, that's what he's brilliant at. Watch him again, look at him, totally unmarked. No one near him. And he doesn't miss those chances.
Well, the ball banged against the chest of Paul Hardiman standing on the line. And from Sunderland's point of view, it couldn't have fallen in a worse place. And Clive Allen, who scored the winning goal in the 6th round for Queen's Park Rangers 10 years ago against Crystal Palace, and got into trouble for the way he celebrated it. Has edged Chelsea further forward here in the FA Cup, and the lead threatened straight away by Brian Atkinson. Rush with a cross, out by Elliott. So Sunderland concede a goal at a set piece, and Dennis Wise hung it up for Paul Elliott to attack. And Chelsea had enough players around to cope with the knockdown.
What I can't believe, though, is why Sunderland just allows somebody like Clive Allen all the freedom and didn't make plans for anyone to mark him. Quite amazing.
The stoppage is for Kevin Wilson, being in the wars. second division looking for a second representative in the semi-finals, but it's the first division team that have made the more forceful start.
I think, to be fair, Mark, the honours have been pretty even up till then as well.
Yes, particularly after the first 10 minutes, Sunderland started to show how they've reached this rarefied atmosphere of the sixth round. But they are a team, I'm afraid, always capable of conceding a goal as well as scoring. Rogan takes the free kick. Excellent play by Allen, holding the ball up so that the support could arrive. There's a Cup Winners' Medal, of course, in the Allen family through Clive's father, Les, with Tottenham in 1961, and of course his cousin Paul, one with West Ham. Hall. Bennett can let it run. Chelsea do feel that they've really been out of the picture when it comes to major trophies for far too long. Townsend. That's Wilson. And Tony Norman did very well to change direction, as the shot did.
Yes, and basically the first time that Andy Townsend got himself in a advanced position, just there. Little nick back to Kevin Wilson, takes the deflection of Gary Bennett. What made it a good save is the goalkeeper actually loses his footing, but is still agile enough to get both hands to it.
Candy. Pressed by Byrne, but equal to the task. Well, Tony Norman, who of course works often with Neville Southall in the Wales setup, he's definitely capable of making the brilliant save. His season has been punctuated with one or two errors as well. He wasn't too happy about the goals he conceded at West Ham, and not too happy here about the raw enthusiasm of the match, is the referee. It's a free kick to Chelsea with 3 minutes to go to half-time. Up in a line for Chelsea. Myers. Now Dixon. Wise whipping the ball across. Dixon, who now has to work here at Stamford Bridge with competition in the shape of Tony Cascarino. It hasn't always been the case that Kerry Dixon has feared for his place down the years. He's closing in on the all-time club record, which is held by Bobby Tambling, great star of the 60s, of course. Kerry needs another 11, but he's only scored 5 all season. Again, David Rush, who's full of running. Now Kay, who slipped past Myers. Oh, that was a desperate desperately difficult ball to defend against, and Jason Cundy came through that crisis, but only just. But that was stylish build-up by Sunderland.
Well, Sunderland responded magnificently going a goal behind here. John Cave produced what I thought when he left his foot was the perfect ball. Jason Cundy so acrobatically just clears it, because John Byrne was certainly on the end of that one.
Sunderland way ahead on the corner count. Chelsea lead by 1-0. Elliott makes sure that the corner from Atkinson doesn't reach Bennett.
I think what Sunderland must do when they have set pieces in those areas or corners is actually miss out Paul Elliott. Pretending at the moment to find the areas that he's defending, and he's really one of the best in the country at going and claiming the ball. I would tend to say, let's try and drag a couple of our big players away from Elliott and play the ball into that area.
Well, we're in the 45th minute of the first half. It was Dixon who got to it for Chelsea. Rogan just couldn't get to the ball in time. Chelsea started the game, as you'd expect, fired up at home. Sunderland rode out that particular storm, and John Byrne, of the two number 10s, was having more of the ball, the better service for a spell. But then Clive Allen put his trademark on this cup tie. Bracewell, stopped by Wilson, only once. It's Townsend the second time. And Bob Stoker, involved by Ian Porterfield to provide some fatherly advice, and getting caught up in all the intensity of a cup run yet again at pensionable age. Stewart. Now Myers, both graduates of the FA school. Half-time at Stamford Bridge. So far, Clive Allen has produced his party piece. And that's the difference between the two sides. Sunderland will be disappointed to lose the goal from a set piece, Andy.
Yes, they pay the penalty for not having anyone delegate to Markham. Hardiman does quite brilliantly there, but you can't allow a man of his skill that much room.
Sunderland, though, very much still in the match at half-time at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 1, Sunderland 0.
Welcome back, 1-0 Chelsea. What a match as well. Ron Atkinson and Vinnie Jones with us here in the studio. Before we go any further, you've got one cup medal. You've got it tattooed on the right leg there, Vinnie. Are you going to get your hands on it again? Let's have a look at it. Where is it?
That's the winners 92 under there this year, hopefully. The boys
You're getting
can
that
keep playing
feeling,
like that.
You're getting that feeling?
Well, obviously, every minute goes past, you get a little bit more of a buzz. Semi-finals, obviously, another 45 minutes away. So the worst thing is leading up to this game, to get through it, and then the worst thing is leading up to the next game, obviously, so.
All right. Ron, let's have a look at the incident, which may very well have led to an opener at the other end. John Byrne very much involved. Mayhem in the Chelsea defence.
That's right. I mean, actually, Davenport and Byrne have played very, very well when they've had any sort of service. Andy Townsend makes a rick of his life there, or could have been the rick of his life. Byrne's taking on defender. The referee does well here, actually, because the defender's actually legged him up, but it looks very much as if he's going to be a certain goal on. Keeper's made a good stop and made a good double block there. And even on the line, there's a good clearance on the line. He's got back on the line very well to see that one off. And in all fairness, you know, that was a brilliant moment for Sunderland. and you'd bet your life they were going to score.
Yes.
At some stage in that...
During their best spell, wasn't it? They'd survived 10 minutes of hectic pressure from Chelsea.
That's right.
And they were enjoying a good spell themselves.
Chelsea's best moments have been when they played a pressure game, when they've stuck things in the box, and of course Clive Allen ferrets around looking for the little half chances. But in build-up play, actually Sunderland have played with more quality. And I was saying to Vinny earlier, I mean, he's on pins, he's all hot and bothered, like, you know, and so forth. I got a feeling Chelsea need another goal.
Yes, you feel there's a goal in Sunderland.
I think Sunderland have got a goal in them, if the quality into the front players is still as good, because Byrne looks electric. When he's had a service to play on, he's looked as good a player as there is on the field.
No. Let's have a look at the goal. Vinny, I think you can take us through this and enjoy one of Clive Allen's typical strikes.
Yeah, I mean, he's seen it there. He's going to pull off now. So if anything comes into the keeper and he palms it down, I mean, it's going to come off the lad there. There's Clive. He's a little bit on his heels there. But he's seen the chance and just kept it low.
He's totally unmarked here. He's gone into the position that Gary
just
Lineker does, hasn't he? Between keeper and ball. And
the lad on the line's done brilliant not to just handball it. I mean, reflexes, you would just put your hands up and save it. See, the defender there, it's gone the opposite way that he wants to head it. Bobby Stewart's done well.
Yeah, but that's all the result, isn't it, of pressure play? I mean, Andy was saying about Clive Allen should have been picked up. I mean, that sounds obvious when you realise his goals record. But the ball has gone so many different directions that I bet those defenders, their heads are spinning off nearly, watching to see which way the ball's gone.
I think if anyone was to pick Clive up, it was the lad on the line there.
Yeah.
He would have been picking him up.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got back in there. He's made a great save. I mean, his anticipation, and even as he's chested it out, he still tried to fly and get a block on the ball. And all right, you can say it's a tap-in, but Clive Allen's tapped about 200 of those in his career. Like,
it's not over, is it? By a long, long way. This.
No, I'm the same as Ron. I'd like to see another goal. Early doors as well. I can just, Ron's saying that they've got a goal in them. I'd like to see the lads. I mean, Wise is getting about the pitch. I want to see Andy settle down a little bit and maybe put Kerry away on the inside channels, inside the fullbacks. Obviously, I want to go quick.
And Sunderland have just got to keep it going, Ron.
Yeah, I do feel that Chelsea give them an awful lot of problems on aerial stuff, at both ends, actually. I can't really see, and probably the second half will prove me wrong, I don't see that they can head a ball in a goal, unless it's, like the ball Kay nearly played into Byrne's path late in the game. But I feel they're having a lot of problems defensively. I mean, we thought they hadn't got a centre-half, particularly when the two number 4s came out at the start. And everything that's been stuck in there, when Paul Elliott's loaded his way in for set plays and Kerry Dixon, has given Sunderland a lot of problems.
Plenty of football left in it yet. Chelsea lead by a goal to nil. We've got the second half coming up live. Stay with us. Welcome back. Carlsberg man of the match number 0898 500 125. 0898 500 125. Live cricket follows us. India against West Indies. 45 minutes of cracking cup football coming up here. Commentators Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thanks, Richard. First half that really has been something of a tale of the two number 10s. Clive Allen hasn't seen too much of the ball, but has collected the only goal. John Byrne has played very well outside the penalty area, but got clean through in the sort of opportunity that he's been taking with aplomb all season, for Brighton first of all, and then for Sunderland since his move up to the northeast. Kevin Hitchcock kept him out. It might concern Chelsea that they've only kept 6 clean sheets in the First Division this season, as they look to defend this 1-0 lead, but they still haven't conceded a goal in the FA Cup. Here's Wilson, stopped by Rogan. Atkinson chasing this. Miles will get there first, running into David Rush, who really is a striker and being asked by Malcolm Crosby to work for the team, wide on the right of midfield. Wise, Allen, there is Rush doing that selfish work. Got a couple of famous names, a Rush and a Brady. Kieran Brady is a substitute tonight. Here's Davenport. Byrne in the centre. But Davenport only had John Byrne to pick out. Andy doing the covering. knocked away by Stewart, not very far. This is Bracewell. Hardiman on the left. Townsend. Burns header. Fine ball by Bracewell to Hardiman, who stayed onside. Davenport just stopped in the act of shooting. But Sunderland now attacking the goal behind which most of their supporters are congregated.
But that's a great positive start for them. And it was Paul Bracewell, the captain, 2 super pieces of play from him that kept him in play. And it's exactly the start that Malcolm Crosby would have wanted.
Hardiman with the corner. Ruined the Rush and Rogan rather confused each other then. And here's Myers. Sunderland might have replied in kind if the 2 fair-haired players had organised themselves in better harmony then. From a corner, and there was some talk at half-time, Andy, as to whether it should have been a corner when Chelsea scored to take the lead.
Yeah, I think when Kerry Dixon went through, there was certainly a lot of thought up here in the gantry that Kerry had actually just screwed the ball wide on his own, and everyone, to be fair, seemed to be just going back to allow Sunderland to take a goal kick when the referee...
That's Davenport.
Pointed to for a corner kick.
Hitchcock's clearance dealt with first of all by Wise and then by Myers. Dixon making up the ground on Bennett. Over Rush. Myers again. But it's been quite a start to the second half from Sunderland. Malcolm Crosby, in his short time in management, has shown himself to be a most positive character. He has to deal, of course, in the best way possible with the type of player that he's inherited. But he's recognised their strength in attack, and for sure they've been encouraged to come out for the second half and take the game to Chelsea. But for the moment they must concentrate on the defending at Myers' free kick. Byrne has got such an easy feel for the ball. It's Kay's pass, and it flew off Gareth Hall behind for a corner.
Yes, man, if I had been Malcolm Crosby at half-time, I certainly would have been saying to these players, you've shown me enough, you must believe yourselves that you've shown enough to know that you'll create another 2 or 3 chances second half. What you've got to believe is when you create them, that you're sticking one away.
Hardiman to take the corner, Armstrong coming in on the edge of the area. This is Anton Rogan wanting to wriggle it onto his left foot. Well, near misses count for nothing in the FA Cup, but that was the closest of squeaks for Chelsea.
Well, Kevin Hitchcock breathes a huge sigh of relief there, doesn't he? Look at the anguish on the faces there. Just played the ball into an area. Kevin Hitchcock's obviously expected someone to get a touch to it, and could have been embarrassed by Anton Rogan there.
He cropped up with the odd goal or two in his Celtic days. Elliott there before Byrne. John Byrne, who's played at Wembley, the Republic of Ireland, for Queen's Park Rangers, and for Brighton at the end of last season in the playoffs. Can he inspire Sunderland to continue a path towards the FA Cup final here? He's certainly been an available player. Here he is again, as they put their attacks together. But for raw determination, you've got to commend Elliott as well. And raw is the word that keeps coming to mind here. 2 kinds of raw, really. Certainly plenty of the crowd kind. And abrasive edge to the tackling, you'd expect that, but there's been nothing naughty.
Oh, it's been a real cup tie in every sense.
Rogan with the free kick. Townsend gets to it. Stewart's header. Peter Davenport's taking up some thoughtful positions. Hardiman's throw. And, they have another corner. Gary Bennett's taken up a very deep position way beyond the far post. Armstrong's always a menace in the air. And Rogan coming in and Elliott taking no chances at all.
See, again, I think that's food and drink for Paul Elliott in that situation. Try a little variation, try and pull a couple of your good headers away from Elliott's area, who's marking Anton Rogan, and allow someone else to go in and try and impose themselves on the Chelsea defence.
Cundy's picking up Armstrong, which is significant. And the two of them go for this one. Armstrong's header! He's done that often down the years. Still only 24, Gordon Armstrong.
But that's what I mean, Martin. They've knocked it to a different area, and it's given them a better chance of actually producing something.
But maybe Cundy, as the next best marker, had gone to Armstrong. The point I was wanting to make was Chelsea had done their homework and know about Armstrong in the air, but they still couldn't stop him there. We're 8 minutes into the second half, and Sunderland's spirits, well, they weren't sagging when they were going off at half-time, a goal down, but they've really come out strongly. And Chelsea, as was felt at half-time, looking in need of a second goal. Haven't come anywhere near to collecting it. Bracewell. Armstrong, the linesman's got his flag up, but that must have been very close indeed. And the Sunderland players taking issue, even the mild-mannered Peter Davenport.
This has got to be very close if they're offside here. Very close.
And it's Chelsea who are very slow to react there.
This is going to be a long 45 minutes for Ian Porterfield if his team don't start trying to exert some pressure themselves. Sunderland are forcing them further and further back.
And how long can the sequence go on? 1-0 here against Everton. 1-0 here against Sheffield United. It's still 1-0 against Sunderland, but Davenport and David Rushes arriving, claiming too that he was nudged at the moment that he arrived.
Oh, this is Peter Davenport at his brilliant best. Look at that for a turn, and he stands up a brilliant cross. Rush comes in at the far post, and it's just a fraction too high. And I think it's just sheer frustration. He's complaining to the referee. But watch this for a brilliant turn. Thinks of nothing else, but stands it up. Rush comes in. Andy Myers does just enough to put him off.
Well, if you've forgotten that Peter Davenport played for England, that was a little turn and cross of international quality. In fact, he played just once against the Republic of Ireland back in 1985 and created Gary Lineker's first goal for his country. And at that stage, either of them could have gone on to greater things, and maybe both of them. But it didn't work out for Davenport, in sharp contrast to his partner that evening at Wembley. But, as they say, it made a good living in the game. Townsend, Hall, Chelsea posing no threat. This is a very important phase of this quarter-final. The two games that have been decided, for Liverpool and for Portsmouth, by one solitary goal in each match. I just don't feel it can happen again. Certainly not the way Sunderland are playing. Kane. Stewart having to help out. Wilson overran the ball. It's Rush. And it's a rather rueful look away this time. And Kevin Hitchcock is asking what is going on in front of him from Chelsea's point of view.
They look very, very nervy, Chelsea, Martin. Really some desperate defending from them at times. And Sunderland really are opening them up. Almost every time they come up the park, they're creating a chance or an opportunity for themselves. But you do feel that while they're on top like this, that they have got to get a goal.
There's another deft touch from Davenport that invited Rush to shoot. He chases Rush's help forward. Oh, and Chelsea so unsure again, and John Byrne, who had more time, didn't recognise it. And perhaps that was understandable. He couldn't believe Chelsea was so lax once more.
Well, Jason Cundy should just be clearing that ball. But when John Byrne needs a cool head and he expects him to have it, he just hurries his shot a little bit.
Well, it's Sunderland who look like the First Division team at the moment. And not for the first time in this cup run. It's taken them beyond Port Vale, a 3-0 home win, a 3-2 win at Oxford, and the two matches with West Ham.
They just need a little bit of luck, Sunderland. They're doing everything they can but score at the moment, and they just need something to drop their way in the box.
Are appearing. Sunderland can't quite drive through them. Davenport. Armstrong marauding through the centre. Townsend just got it back. Ian Sampson is the Sunderland substitute, 23 years old, hadn't played in the first team until this season. He's a central defender. It may be Gary Bennett who's going to come off. Remember, he's just back from injury himself. At the moment he's advanced down the far side. He's one of 4 Sunderland players forward.
I'll tell you what, Martin, the running of Peter Davenport and John Byrne has been fabulous tonight. But where Chelsea have had a problem is that both fullbacks tend to push forward in advance of their centre halves, and it's leaving an area. If you've got 2 willing strikers to run into, they can get service all night. That's what's happened, and it really has caused Chelsea a problem.
So Ian Sampson goes in to Gary Bennett's place in the middle of the back 4. And the suggestion really is that Bennett maybe come back a few days too early. Oh, great play by Bracewell. Well, Gary Bennett has to join the congregation of anxious Sunderland supporters now, moving to those out there to try and repair the damage. Still the 1 goal backed by Chelsea and Clive Allen. But it's no reflection at all on the second half. And it is, as we suspected, a recurrence of the thigh strain that has kept Gary Bennett out of the last 3 games. Atkinson. Well, how Sunderland are playing for Malcolm Crosby, and one wonders what the board of directors will do. In fact, to be fair to them, Malcolm Crosby has given them a problem, because he clearly was appointed as caretaker manager as a stopgap, but he's lifted the dressing room and really has taken to the job to the manner born, and he wants to keep it, but he doesn't know whether he's going to get it. And he doesn't know at the moment, as he gets the ball back into play, whether his team are going to stay in the FA Cup. That might have a bearing on the outcome. Scuffed away by Myers. Foul on Sampson.
This is impressive play from Sunderland. Playing at a great pace and a great tempo, but not just throwing the ball in there and hoping something happens. Being very patient and methodical about their play. And this is really our testing times for the Chelsea defence.
Well, Sampson adds his height. I suppose we should say his strength with a name like that. Although the hair is on the short side. Davenport is orchestrating this Sunderland show in the second half. Brian Atkinson taking them all on. Chelsea are down, but they're certainly not out of the cup. But Brian Atkinson went forward in a tank-like way that reminded you of Ron Atkinson there.
Yeah, that's just a little bit of frustration there from Brian Atkinson, isn't it? He's got Dennis Wise in a corner. No real need to tackle him there, but just keep the pressure on.
Just to put you straight, Andy, it was John Kay who committed the foul, but it was Brian Atkinson in the penalty area.
Thanks, Martin. That's good about working with you. I always know if I make a mistake, you'll immediately correct me.
I think that's the first one he made this season. So. Here's Kay again. He's become a cult figure with the Sunderland supporters. But Ian Porterfield, and a dialogue there with Dennis Wise. It's not going right for Chelsea, but they still lead, which is all that matters if it stays that way to the end of the evening. So much tension in Chelsea's play, and I just wonder what Vinnie Jones in the studio is making of this. Vinnie, it's not going well for Chelsea.
No, I just think the hearts are ruling the brains at the moment. I think we're dropping right off too deep. And as Andy said, the two fullbacks are pushing in, creating a big gap where it's going up, back, and then through into the corners, and Davenport and Byrne are making some super runs. And I just think that's where the problem will come. If Davenport gets it and dinks another ball like that to the far post, there could be all sorts of problems.
Buys Chelsea a little bit of time, just a little bit of breathing space.
Well, it's quite remarkable the performance from the two central midfield players, Bracewell and Atkinson for Sunderland. And at any time a Chelsea midfield player in their vicinity gets the ball, within a fraction of a second they're around him, giving him no time at all to settle.
Well, Vinny was talking about Chelsea playing with their hearts and not their heads, but there's some big-hearted Sunderland players out there who are refusing to accept that coming to a First Division team that there might be a risk of being outplayed, outclassed. Chelsea seem to have the better cards in their hand, but they haven't scooped the pool yet.
I can't believe that decision. That's what I mean about pressure. Bracewell pressing Gareth Hall. Yeah, a free kick being given. Unbelievable.
The last card that Malcolm Crosby can play is Kieran Brady, who did so well coming on as a substitute at Upton Park. Is a young man of undoubted talent, They're never quite sure when he's going to display it. They're not even totally sure of his best position. He can play through the middle, he can play wide, he can operate just behind the two strikers. We shall have to see. It's Brian Atkinson who has been an important figure for Malcolm Crosby. He brought Atkinson back into the team when he got the job after the sacking of Dennis Smith. Andy Gray, I wonder whether that was a little premature. Do you think they've got to get a goal somehow?
Yes, they do, but still there are plenty time, Mark. I mean, I think the two midfield players and Bracewell, as I said in action, have been doing exceptionally well. And when they were making substitution, I just couldn't think who would take off.
Rush with the header. Oh, Dixon! And here's Stewart. And this season has been something of a story for Kerry Dixon of not quite getting it right in front of goal. This could have settled it for Chelsea.
Oh, it most certainly would have settled it for him, but just a fraction too far. And Stewart just can't turn it back. But that's what Sunderland have got to guard against. They've got to risk now.
Well, they defend against Elliott and against Myers, well, not quite. Andy Myers has played in the senior team further forward down the left-hand side. As you can see, he's a muscular young man. And Chelsea, whatever happens to them this season, can look forward optimistically on the playing side because of the crop of young players that they have here. The problem for Ian Porterfield is when to blood them and how many of them to use at any particular time. It was crucial in his thinking and his selection for this game.
It's always a difficult decision for a manager when you're talking about young players, but sometimes the decision's taken away from you, Martin, you just have to play them.
I think that was the case with Myers. He played just before the 5th round in a league game here against Southampton, which was rearranged, and he was one of the stars of the show, and he's been in ever since. Byrne. Bracewell. It's Davenport again, seizing on Elliott's header. Now this is where Townsend can express himself, and Dixon is clear if Townsend can find him. In fact, he just probably took the ball a little too far forward for that to happen directly. But it might still happen for Kerry Dixon, for Stewart.
Well, as it breaks here, and Kerry Dixon using all his experience and calm head as you think he might try and drill it across, picks out Stewart, and that's a good save from the goalkeeper.
Allen waiting right on the goal line. Dixon, Elliott, Wilson, and it looked as though Clive Allen was going to get another tap in.
That's another
Wilson's shot was blocked.
It's another corner, isn't it? They can't clear. Look, Paul Elliott's the one that causes the confusion. They can't get clear. Kevin Wilson hits a brilliant volley, but it's well defended.
Always likely to pop in a goal for you is Wilson. Elliott! That was the best contact he's made in the Sunderland penalty area. Clive Allen claiming that should have been a Chelsea throw. He was taken off, you might recall, in the 5th round. He's been the winner in the 4th round. And Tony Cascarino is waiting on the bench, but by his sheer presence, one would expect Allen and Dixon to work their socks off.
Oh, they'll have to do that because they've got precious little of the ball, Mark, and what they've got to say is we've got a goal to protect, and we've got, at the moment, they've got 11 defenders on the park, the way that Sunderland are playing.
Hall. Here's Stewart, known to everyone here as Bobby, but officially christened Graham. Brady. Elliott sticking his backside out to hold off Davenport. Here's Wilson. Chelsea showing signs of finding a second win, but they still haven't got a second goal.
Yeah, but Sunderland have got to risk losing a second in search of an equaliser, haven't they?
They're tight on Byrne. And that was Wise, thinking that Stewart might be able to get in behind Sunderland down their left-hand side. Well, he's got the look of the artful dodger about him, Dennis Wise. He's one of those provocative players. He's had at times an uneasy relationship with the supporters here, and often an uneasy relationship with referees. But good enough to play for England last year, and to score a crucial goal, as it turned out, in Turkey in the European Championship qualifiers. He's played his part in getting England to Sweden. Stewart. Now Wilson. In bringing on Brady, they've added to the skill factor, but maybe they've lost a bit of strength in midfield with the departure of Atkinson. Cross early from Wilson and Allen, who might have just been trying to set his body to try a volley. It wouldn't have been beyond him to think of sweeping that goalwards first time. But in the end, perhaps he changed his mind, and the moment was lost.
This is about a 5-minute spell that Chelsea have needed throughout this second half. It's basically the first time Kevin Hitchcock's been able to stand around and watch things happen. He's always been on the edge of his box, or in his box, always on his toes, because Sunderland have been very lively, putting them under tremendous pressure. They've got to still have that self-belief, Sunderland. They've got to believe they can get a goal back.
We've been considering the football implications for Chelsea to continue the FA Cup run. Financial implications very important as well. That's Bracewell, who is being teased by his teammates for not scoring this season. It's never been a strong part of his game. He's always been full of industry. When he played with you at Everton, Andy, of course, he had Trevor Stephen wide on the right, Kevin Sheedy wide on the left, getting 30 goals between them, so he didn't have to bother too much, him and Peter Reid.
No, they didn't, but they did what I feel that Brian Atkinson and himself have been doing in this game, and putting Chelsea's midfield under tremendous pressure. And I do think they've lost that slightly since they made the substitution. But Malcolm Crosby is paid to make those decisions. They paid to gamble in the FA Cup, and that's certainly what he's done now.
Allen's in the centre. Wise couldn't settle on the ball. And he'll take the corner, and that will give Chelsea belief that they might make another chance. If such statistics were kept, I think you'd find that Dennis Wise had made more goals than many First Division players. And he's seen Wilson here. Wise again. The repositioning in the centre, and very well held by Tony Norman. That was certainly one for Elliott to fight for. Norman was under great difficulty then.
That's good goalkeeping.
Stewart aiming to go into the centre of midfield. Dixon screened it beautifully. Wilson. Well, Dixon, sure whether he let it run intentionally, but Stewart fires it across. Behind off Rogan. More of the match at the moment being played in Sunderland territory. Still 1-0. Wilson, time to bring it down. Wise, they're all congregating in the middle again. Oh, and it was touched away by Sampson. And it was a crucial contact. It might well have kept Sunderland going here. We really wouldn't back them to recover if Chelsea doubled their lead. But at 1-0, they're in it right to the last.
I think a second goal would really kill them off, but that was great defending from Ian Sampson there. We saw an example of it in the first half with Jason Cundy very acrobatically saving a certain goal. And that one almost certainly has kept Sunderland right alive in this tie.
Knocked forward by John Kay. Once again, they were unable to bypass Paul Elliott. Davenport.
It's quite amazing. It's been like a magnet to Paul Elliott, the ball, when it's come in both boxes tonight. He almost seems to have headed everything at both ends.
Sunderland have a free kick. Foul by Stewart. Kieran Brady, the Glaswegian, who's opted for the Republic of Ireland, rather like Ray Houghton. Tony Norman in the Chelsea half. Hardiman's free kick. It's met by Dixon, and Allen telling you a lot about what Chelsea are feeling at the moment. Let's just get it away and regroup. "12 minutes left. Bracewell standing his ground, didn't flinch.
He's been brilliant tonight for them, Paul Bracewell, and I don't say that as an ex-teammate of his. He's really shown all the old industry and desire that he had many years ago, and he's been brilliant for them. Kept his team going, played a real captain's part.
Knocked across by Byrne. It was a strange one from Stewart. Sampson's header. Townsend, and now Dixon. Biding his time. But the weight on the pass was expert. Here's Wise. Well, Ian Porterfield is getting closer and closer to seeing his current side dump his old team out of the FA Cup. Celebrations after they'd beaten Sheffield United were worthy of the final itself. Goodness knows what they'll be like if Chelsea do win this one. So much at stake, and it's written all over his face. Rush lets the ball go. Elliott. Wherever the cross comes in, Paul Elliott locates it. Well, Kieran Brady will provide a different type of corner perhaps now, with the left foot able to curve it goalwards. Gordon Armstrong has changed his position. Hit back by Bracewell. The linesman's flagging. The linesman is flagging.
I think this is it's one of those difficult ones, Mark, but I think it's John Byrne who's coming back onto play, and I think on that occasion the linesman was absolutely right.
Stewart. He's away from Hardiman. Well, the countdown is well and truly on. And Chelsea, at times, have been clinging precariously to their lead. And just when the supporters, particularly those on the shed, were sensing a chance to catch Sunderland on the wrong foot, the flag was up for offside against Stewart. Sunderland, the supporters can be very proud of their team, and I'm sure will stick with them. second division campaign, which, as I said earlier, could go either way. They could mount a late challenge for the playoffs. If things were to go wrong, they could drop to the fringe of the relegation area. There's a lot at stake still in their league season, but they're desperately fans to see the team come up with a goal here, and it wouldn't be undeserved.
They certainly wouldn't. And don't you believe that it's any consolation if the scoreline stays the same for everyone to go around and say to the Sunderland players and management staff, you've been unlucky, didn't you play well? It's not like that, Mark, in a cup tie. I keep saying it, I'd rather play badly in a cup tie and win it than play well and lose it. I'll tell you that now.
And Sunderland have played well. They've made Chelsea look very scratchy at the back, particularly in the opening quarter of an hour of the second half. Bracewell. And it will come for Byrne. John Byrne has placed the header in. And Sunderland get their deserts. And he's scored in every game in this extraordinary cup run. Bracewell to Byrne, to the back of the net.
Well, it's not undeserved, it's Bracewell who puts in a brilliant ball. And this is John Byrne's most difficult chance of the evening. He can't get any power in it, Martin. It's impossible the way it's dropping. What he's got to do is guide it. And that's exactly what he does. That's superbly placed.
And now listen to the roar that's come south from Roker. Well, Chelsea, as we have been constantly suggesting, have been living dangerously. And that danger doesn't stop now just because it's 1-1. Dixon. Stewart.
That's sensible there, Martin, it really is, from Gordon Armstrong. Just take the heat out of the game now. You've got back in it. You've worked for nearly 45 minutes to do it. Don't spoil it now by throwing everything forward, looking for a winning goal. If it's going to come, let it come. But don't lose one now after all that hard work.
Here's Wilson. But what can Chelsea do? The players had it in their minds that they were going to run down the clock and see it out at 1-0. But then this happened.
Watch this for a header. It's impossible to get power on it, Martin. Believe me, I've been in that situation. And John Byrne, for me, has put the ball in the only place he was going to score from that situation. That's what you call clinical finishing. But that shows you the confidence of that man. He's missed, for me, 2 easier chances tonight, but that didn't affect him whatsoever.
1 goal against Port Vale in the 3-0 win. 1 at Oxford in the 3-2 success. A goal against West Ham at home in the 5th round in the 1-1 draw. 2 at Upton Park, which took Sunderland into the 6th round. And the equaliser here. A superb scoring sequence from a striker that seems to get better and better with age. He's 31 now. Rush, Burns ahead of him, but he's lost out to Cundy, who's trying to turn it back Chelsea's way, and yet again Tony Norman passed the examination with flying colours, flying being the operative word.
Well, everybody's flying now. Jason Cundy's flying up the wing, and as this comes across, the smallest man in the pitch is waiting to head it in. But that's great goalkeeping at this time in the game.
With the greatest respect to Portsmouth and Nottingham Forest, to Liverpool and Aston Villa, this has to be the pick of the 4 ties. I was at Southampton, so I don't want to say too much more about that. And there's much more left in it as well.
We mustn't underestimate the part that Paul Bracewell plays in this goal. He knows that's the danger area, and he plays a delightful ball in. We said it once, we said it again. Superb finish.
Well, that was desperate for Chelsea, but every time we show the goal again, I'm just imagining the reaction up on Weir's side. Well, we said it would be a tale of the two number 10s. Before the game, it certainly was when we assessed it at half-time, and that may be the way it's going to finish, maybe. Davenport. Byrne trying to get away. Davenport. There is a player of moods, but you've certainly seen his best mood in the second half. He really has given Sunderland a superb 45 minutes since the break.
What a boost for Malcolm Crosby, though. When you think that they've got Don Goodman, who probably would have been picked had he not been cup time, Martin. But to be able to call on somebody like Peter Davenport must be great comfort for him in this cup run. And he hasn't let them down at all tonight. Both front men have been excellent. But that for me has been the pick of the bunch. That man there, the captain, the number 7, he's been absolutely superb.
But what of Chelsea? They won't relish going to Roker, and they're 2 minutes plus stoppage time away from having to experience that.
Oh, this can still go anyway, Mark, believe me.
Byrne. Here's Brady. Oh, and there was hesitation then. He must have got a call from the goalkeeper. And Davenport was on the scene in a flash. Well, Sunderland, the club that got promoted the season before last because of Swindon's misfortune, went straight back again, although they delighted First Division audiences with some of the style of their football last season. It didn't go right for Dennis Smith in the league, in the second division when they went down again. And the players must take their share of the blame in that. They won, I think, only 3 of their first 10 league games this season. But not for the first time in their history. Come the FA Cup, well, it's a different story.
They've actually played, Martin, as if they want to be remembered for the FA Cup. They've obviously heard it time and time again, that famous Sunderland victory. And it's almost as if the 11, the 13 lads that have performed tonight want to say, well, we know what it's all about on Weir's side. We want to create a little bit of history of our own.
Davenport will obviously extend the stoppage time. And as you can see, the 90 minutes are up. It rests with Terry Holbrook. Chelsea have the ball, but there's not enough movement for them to use the throw quickly. Allen trying to sweep it in. Bracewell is there again. And when you think of the injury difficulties that he's been through, and Sunderland, with Paul Bracewell in particular, get the honours, and John Byrne, of course, who has done it yet again, 7 minutes from time. And now Ian Porterfield and Bob Stokoe have to return to Roker Park, which holds such memories for them. Clive Allen gave Chelsea the lead, and in the second half, because of Sunderland's endeavour and their quality, it was a case of whether Chelsea could hold on. They couldn't. In the second half, they were below par on a big night for the club. Chelsea will have Vinnie Jones back for the replay, and they will need his fighting spirit to take on Malcolm Crosby's team and these splendid supporters. And one would expect Sunderland still to be managed by Malcolm Crosby for the replay, whose talents are being recognised elsewhere in football, but who still awaits the decision of his current chairman about his current situation. Malcolm Crosby is talking to Nick Collins.
Well, Malcolm, you left it very late, but I suppose well worth the draw, do you think, at the end?
Yeah, I thought we deserved it. I thought it was a great performance after, you know, the lads were a bit down because we felt the corner leading up to the goal, we said it hadn't touched anybody. The referee gave a corner. We had to accept it, but it was hard to take. And in the end, you know, I think nobody could have denied us the draw.
As time was starting to tick away and you'd continued to apply all the pressure, but the goal wouldn't come, were you thinking, well, perhaps we are going out?
Well, you always think things might not work out for you, but, you know, credit to the players. They've just kept going and they've kept going. And in the end, they've got what they've deserved, you know, they're going back to Roker.
And, of course, it's all very good for the old CV. Yet another good result for Sunderland. And does that mean Malcolm Crosby's job prospects are better, do you think?
Well, it's good for me, but my concern at the moment is to get results for the club. And, you know, the players are doing that for me. And it makes my life a lot easier.
With Dennis Smith going to Bristol City, though, is there a chance that Malcolm Crosby may go to Bristol rather than stay at Sunderland if he isn't offered the job on a permanent basis?
Well, I'm sure Dennis, you know, we're good friends, and if he wants me, I'll probably have to ring him, because Dennis won't ring me, like, he's a bit tight on the phone. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
All right, Malcolm, very well done. Let's bring in John Byrne, the man who scored the equaliser. John, you've scored in every round so far, enjoying this year's competition, obviously.
Yeah, that's right. But tonight I thought it wasn't going to come. I had a couple of early chances early on in the first half, and then a chance in the second half, which I should really have put away. And I thought we weren't going to score tonight, but luckily, you know, the goal came. Great ball from Paul Bracewell. And don't score many headers, but, you know, managed to sneak that one away. It's great to see it going.
Perfectly placed. I mean, keeper didn't really have a chance with that when you can see it again from this angle.
Yeah, like I say, I don't score many headers, so it's a bit strange to see that going.
Of course you do.
Well, it should be quite a night for the replay on Wearside, I would think now.
Yeah, that's right, but, you know, we've still got a battle to face. Chelsea are a good side, they showed tonight. We haven't done the hard... We've done the hard work, but it's going to be a hard game up there. Still got it all to do.
John, thank you very much. Gentlemen, well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, Nick. Don't forget that Carlsberg Man of the Match number 0898 500 125. 0898 500 125. Long journey south. Be a smashing journey back north tonight. They're in great spirits, aren't they? The replay to come at Roker Park, and we'll be back here at Stamford Bridge with the views of Vinnie Jones and Ron Atkinson after these. Stay with us. Well, nobody's leaving yet, because they're not allowed to at the moment, for security reasons, but no one wants to, from Wearside anyway. Those Sunderland fans will enjoy every moment of this. In truth, they were worth the draw, weren't they? Smashing match. Really was. Don't forget that Carlsberg Man of the Match telephone number, 0898 500 125. 0898 500 125. Tickets for Wembley at the end of the season. Carlsberg sports bag and various goodies up for grabs tonight. Answer on Friday with Matt on Sky Soccer Weekend. The draw looks like this, no different to this morning. Liverpool against Portsmouth we know about. It's Chelsea or Sunderland against Southampton or Norwich in the other semi-final. Ron Atkinson and Vinnie Jones, our guests. Now then, before we see John Byrne's this way. Before we see the equaliser, was it a corner? I don't think it was it?
We're looking at it, I don't think it was, no. But it's coming here, the lads try to block it. I don't know whether the referee thinks he's got a touch. Kerry's took a touch here, tries to get it in the box, and I think you look at the defender, he just puts his right leg up there to try and block it, or here where the keeper goes up with his hand.
No.
They're the two possibles.
Wasn't a touch, was there? This, of course, led to the Chelsea goal, and that's what Sunderland were upset about. But not at the time, Ron. Didn't see anybody complain then, did you?
No, that was a surprising thing. Once he's tucked it away, here we go, the Bagatelle goal, balls bobbing all over the place. But once he scored this was a strange thing. A group of Sunderland players ran straight away over to the linesman,
yes.
And we were wondering whether they were complaining about
at the time we were, weren't we?
Paul Elliott
had
pushing
happened?
and that. Strange thing was, I can't remember any of the defenders even making any sort of appeal against the corner, and it looked so blatant that it was a goal kick.
Yes, it was. Sunderland equalising goal came 7 minutes from time, Vinny, but even you conceded in the break there, they were worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I felt at one stage here, I mean, it's a good goal. I thought he was going to knock it down to the lad in the middle there. Is it Armstrong, I think, the 9. I think that's what I thought he was going to do, and then he's just, you know, goal scorer, he's gone for it himself. But he could have easily knocked it down.
I think you felt Brady was offside, Ron, did you? On this left side.
Yes, I felt when the ball, because we've got a perfect view from where we are here, and I felt when Paul Bracewell knocked that ball in, my first reaction was Brady was in an offside position. Now, obviously, as it's floated over the back of the Chelsea backline, Burns gone, caught it up. Maybe, you know, we were discussing earlier, maybe Hitchcock might have come to half a position and whatever and try to put Burnley off.
At least put him off, yes.
Yeah, but in all fairness, he's kept his cool. He's been brave enough. I mean, that was a harder chance than the one in the first half Kerry Dixon had when he handballed it. But he's kept his cool. He's not afraid of any danger coming, and he's tucked it away nice and tidy. And it's got to be said, they thoroughly deserved it.
There's a lot of football left in this tie yet. You make the replay.
Yeah, if selected, obviously, I'm back for selection, and...
that's what I like to hear, taking nothing for granted. Well done.
I don't think you can. We've got a game on Wednesday night against Norwich, so it's a matter of the boys going down there, you know, and having a go on Wednesday night to get this out of our system a little bit. Won't be too disappointed, you know, we're still in it. Now, obviously, disappointment comes because there was 7 minutes to go. We thought we might have been in the semi-final. Now we've got to go up there. I've been up there with Leeds before. Got to show some character up there. As Howard Wilson said, you've got to go up and take the lion's teeth out.
Right, plenty more to come from us between now and 10 o'clock. At 10, we've got live cricket, India against the West Indies. Sky Sports, stay with us. Welcome back. It's going to be a long night, a long trip back to Wearside as well. As Sunderland supporters still inside Stamford Bridge. I'm not sure if they open the gates, whether they'd want to go just yet anyway. But a great night. Some cup run too. 7,000 in all came down. And they've enjoyed a special evening, I think, here at Stamford Bridge. They've entertained as well. Cricket, don't forget, at 10 o'clock tonight, India against the West Indies. That's live. If the West Indies lose, there's every chance they could be bowing out of the World Cup. And just thinking ahead to tomorrow night, the Footballers Football Show, we're joined by Jerry Francis, Dave Bassett and Bob Stokoe, who has to go back to Sunderland now with Ian Porterfield. Ron, how are they going to feel about that, I wonder?
Yes, they'll be disappointed conceding a goal so late, but all credit, you know, Sunderland deserve to stay in the competition, and they're still in the hat. Chelsea's still in the hat, and I would think they've got a better than even money chance of pulling it off up there.
I'd imagine you were quite pleased Saturday night when the result came through from Fratton Park. Jim Smith's a big mate of yours. They were the first team to book their place in the semi-finals.
Yeah, funnily enough, I rang Smithy the day before, and I said, you know, it would be nice if we could go on and meet each other a little bit later. And he said it'd be better if it was much later.
Yes.
Well, at least it is going to be much later next year, possibly now. Yeah.
But it was a great result for him.
Yeah, marvellous. Thinking as well, if coincidences, you know, you're always looking for things in cup runs and all that. The last time Jim went to Wembley, it beat Liverpool in the semi-final.
Really?
But it was with QPR.
Well. Ian Porterfield and Bob Stokoe have got to go back to Sunderland if they want to book a semi-final place. Ian Porterfield is with Nick Collins.
Well, Ian, it looked for a long period as if you'd weathered the Sunderland storm.
Yeah, it looked that way because, you know, we started the game well. Second half, I mean, we just didn't really play at all. We just sat there, and I think we were content to keep the 1-0 lead. And we got punished because of that. And, you know, in the second half performance, we were maybe quite lucky we're still in the cup.
Did the occasion get to the players, do you think? Because a lot of atmosphere and noise here at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, great atmosphere. And I think, you know, one or two lads felt it a little bit this evening. It wasn't really a good performance overall, although with some very good chances. In the first 20 minutes, really, you know, we could have been a couple of goals up.
Bittersweet feelings, I suppose, the fact that you haven't won it first time, but you will be going back to Roker Park for what should be a very emotional occasion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the tie's not over yet. I mean, it's half-time, really. We've got to go up there and hopefully prepare properly and believe we can still win the game.
What kind of occasion do you think it'll be up at Roker Park next week?
Oh, well, it'll be the same as here. It'll be a big crowd, a sellout, and it'll be a great occasion.
Do you think Chelsea can pull it off still?
Oh, you've got to believe in yourselves. I mean, we didn't play well tonight for long periods. Well, Vinnie Jones back available. Stephen Clark's making good progress. So we might have a bit more competition for places.
The FA Cup's still got a long way to go yet.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Ian, thank you very much indeed. Appreciate that.
Well, you were right to say if available, Vinny. He's promised you nothing there.
That's right. I mean, we've got to go out there. I mean, I played there, and I think lads have got to, you know, just playing these sort of games with these sort of atmospheres and just hope they never end. We've got another go at it next week up there, and I've played up there, and it is a magnificent feeling, you know. I mean, you're coming out there and full house. So we'll be looking forward to it. And, you know, I want to get round the lads now and, you know, and say, come on, it's going to be a good day.
Well, hang on for a couple of minutes. Hang on for a couple of minutes. Let's go back to that semi-final between Portsmouth and Forest. Alan McLaughlin, the early goal, settled it. Ron, have you seen this yet?
Very much so, I mean, free kick taken, I think it was Beresford whips it in. And you know, Crossley might go on and have a magnificent career, might do everything in the game, but I tell you what, it's like Jeff Astle when he missed the chance in against Brazil in 1970. People can remember you for one thing. We'll always remember it. And I tell you what, he'll be remembered for that. You're still hurting as a result of your exit at Anfield. Let's have a look at the goal that settled that one. Yes, I mean, the amazing thing was, this was a corner for us, all stemmed from us taking a corner. It's a great through ball, and you know, sometimes you think, well, there's a chance he might miss. Funny, Andy and I were both saying, when he ran onto that Thomas, we never ever thought there was a chance he would miss. Everything looked right. He thought he's going to tuck this away. And he did. And he did. Carlsberg man of the match, give you that number one more time. 0898 500 125. 0898 500 125. Big prize, family day out at Wembley at the end of the season. Carlsberg sports bag with all sorts of goodies tonight. And of course, Matt Lorenzo will give you the answer to that. Friday night, Sky Soccer Weekend. They're still here, you know. I can't believe this. It's nearly 10 o'clock. And as I said a little earlier, it's going to be a long old night, but I don't think they'll mind a bit. Cricket coming up at 10 here on Sky Sports. West Indies against India. We're on a roll with the Cricket World Cup now, aren't we? England going very well. If the West Indies lose tonight, as I've said a couple of times, every chance that they might very well go out of the competition. Vinny, brief final word on the replay.
Just looking forward to it. You know, I think we've got to do better than what we did tonight in a lot of ways. I mean, confidence-wise, I think the atmosphere got to a few lads. I mean, Andy Myers only 18. I think, you know, needs someone around him. You know, I was expecting Paul Elliott really to get hold of him a little bit more and lead him on. You know, Andy in midfield there, you know, international, I mean, you know, just like someone to get a grip of it.
You're still in it, as you said. Can't be too disappointed. Vinny, thanks for your company. Ron, thank you as well for joining us. That's about it tonight from us here on Sky Sports, the football channel, the World Cup cricket channel as well. That comes next. See you next time. Bye-bye.